And another little beauty in the workshop today. And today this one will not start. What is this? This is a 2000 GTX. It has the 951 carb engine in it. And he's been trying to get this thing to run. He had problems with, or he sent in the computer to be tested, thinking that that's what it was. And no issue with that. So we're gonna dig into it today. He says it has no spark, but I'm not sure about that. And I was told that this was an 1 7/8" ball on the trailer. So I put that on my car and drove it down here. And then I got looking at it and it says 2" right on here. So I do not, yeah, right there, 2" ball. So I don't like taking the advice or info from the customers. We're just gonna pretend like we just bought this machine and we wanna make it run, because I'm always being steered down the wrong road. So let's verify the condition and then we will go forward from there. Like I always like to do, I like to take the seats off. It's missing the bucket in there. And let's have a look in here. This one actually came with a good battery, which is nice. Looks like someone's been working on these. I wonder if they put new coils in. Those wires feel totally different than the norm. They're like super stiff. Huh. And just want to check the spark plugs. Are they BR80S in this one? Yep. And that's what we have. Okay, I gotta pull the choke, so put me over here in the stand. Look at the start button. Nothing. So let's get a spark tester and see if it's actually sending a signal to the coils to spark. Okay, got a spark checker. Not seeing anything there. Just check the rear one too. And crank her over. No spark. Let's get into the e-box. See what surgery's been done in here. Oh, that's on there. Sledgehammer fit. What are we seeing? I don't know. Got a fuse here. I think we're going to check to see if that fuse is any good. And 2 pickup wires. Yeah. Let's check powers and grounds. Fuse is out. Out of its holder. Fuse is good. Can I get in there? Is that sealed? We're obviously getting power back here to the solenoid. Before we get too deep, I want to check the fuses just to be sure. Yeah. That was one of these that just was a little bit quick. Yeah. Okay, fuses are good. Next thing I'm going to do is just check the connectors just to be sure that a pin isn't broken off somewhere or bent. Because they've been in here and had the computer in and out. Everything looks A-OK. Check this one anyway, but this one shouldn't matter. No, looks good. All right, moving on. You know what? I'm gonna hook up the Can-Do Pro. Just see if we get anything here. Come on. See if there's any codes. I think this is very limited information on this. For 18 hours. Yeah, there's nothing here. Nothing. All right, well that was a waste of time. Okay, here we are at the front of the engine. I have disconnected the connector that goes into the stator and the rectifier. I have a pigtail here. I'm going to plug this in and see if we can get a reading off that sensor. Maybe it'll fit. Okay, let's get a meter. Got the meter hooked up. We are getting 0.2 on the 2000 scale. I forget how to convert that, but anyway. I'm just gonna crank it over, see if anything changes there. Okay, back setup here. That's on the 2000 ohm scale. So even though there's a decimal point, that's 224 ohms. That's about a 200 ohm coil. That reads spec. There is another test here. I'm not sure if it'll work with the plug. The wire's not connected or not. I gotta check that out. So let me see if that will work. Nope, the other test requires a harness. So when I'm getting good reading here, I mean, it's either the pickup or the flywheel has an issue or the computer. And to check, the one up here is ripping all the exhaust out. And the other option is to swap out the computer as a test, and I don't have a computer. So now I gotta see what I can come up with. I'll have to hunt one down. There's no other way of testing it, and I really don't want to gut the whole motor to find out that the problem was the computer. So I guess we're kind of stuck till I hunt down a computer. All right, well, I've gone through every test I can do on this machine, and I even made up a harness to see if I could get some kind of result, and nothing. All wires check out, right from the E-box all the way up to the front. Everything has good connections. So I think what I'm going to do next is now attempt to change that pickup. I picked up a new one, and we're going to put that in. Unfortunately, to do that, you got to pull the exhaust, got to pull the mag cover while working around the oil pump and all that. I'm hoping I can get at there fairly easily once I get the exhaust out. So there's such a pain to pull the exhaust out, and I think I even have to split it here. I don't think it'll roll out. It might, because we've got this center cover that gives us a little bit more room. So let's, I'm gonna pull this out and then we'll see what we're dealing with. I don't think it's very exciting watching me pull it out. Maybe I'll show you when I lift it out to see if we actually can lift it out or not, but here we go. Well, there's the nightmare. Had to hang the exhaust up because you can't get the exhaust out without pulling all the clamps off and everything, and I really didn't want to separate it, but I probably should. And then I had to pull the front engine mount out because Seadoo put one of the bolts right tight like this, so you couldn't get a wrench on it to get the bolt out. So needless to say, with all the bad words I said, it was good that I wasn't filming. But we are loose now. This is not the right screwdriver for this. So let's pull that off and have a look and see what we see, if anything. There's the pickup, right there. Can I get enough? Probably not. To get it out. Let me manipulate some things around and see what we can come up with. But that's her. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, pop out the bolts. If I can even get in here. There's one. Man, stripped. Now I got more problems. Oh yeah, she's in there. Oh, it's just rusted on there. Okay, now we got to pull that connector out and unpin that. Does that push in? I think it does. Oh yeah. Pull that orange piece out, pull the pins, away we go. Orange piece is out, and I want, okay, black is to the top, yellow is to the middle. There they are. Hopefully the new ones. Yeah, look the same. Okay, which one do you think black is? What do we got here? Oh, we got a black yellow on this one, and we got a black yellow on this one. I was just seeing, didn't see the yellow. So black yellow to the top. That's it. Okay, connector is in. Only goes in one way, has to get around this. Now we got to get this bad boy in there. Okay, we got her in. Just so snug. Oh. Okay. Forget to put that in, you're toast. It'll be for naught because you will have no oil. Now, can we manipulate this back around and get it in without a huge fight is the next question. Why did I see sparks? I'm seeing sparks. Is something shorted? Not liking that at all. Let's see what's going on. We got something weird happening. I'm getting a spark when this touches here, but it's grounded to the case. When I put power on the case from this bolt to the block, I get 12 volts. Something is shorted, maybe in the stator. Maybe this is what all the issue has been. Got some more research to do here. Something's going on. This wire that's grounded to the case, and it has red on it, actually has 12 volts on it. I'll guarantee you that's what was going on. We got to figure out what that wire goes to, because that ain't no ground. It's got power on it for some reason. Ugh. Well, so we didn't need to change the pickup. I'm sure that's what it is. Got the wire off. Meter's on volts. Can you see that? I don't know. One lead on ground. One lead on this wire that was tied to the magneto. 12 volts. What the F? Someone's been doing some creative wiring somewhere. So now we're going to put this thing back together and we're going to figure out what that wire was for. Ugh. And see, I would have never figured that out. Had that not just arced when I put that on the case, if I had disconnected the battery, I never would have saw that. And I don't think anybody would ever figure that out. Well, obviously not, because it's been to about 10 places and computers been sent out and everything, and they never figured it out. So looking good. Promising, anyway. Let's say that. It's not fixed. I'm going to try and do a spark test and hope that it doesn't start because it's wide open exhaust. Pulled one plug off. And probably got a blown fuse. Yep. Okay, my bad. That is the ground. That's what powers the computer. It gets its ground from there. So that's why it was sparking, because it was completing the circuit every time I clicked it on there. So, my bad. Moving on. Okay, here we go again. Let's see if we get any spark. Nothing. I think we're down to a computer issue. There's just no friggin' way. They said that they tested it. We've changed everything. We've done everything. Nothing. Everything else is hooked up. Should I put the other spark plug on? And it's a lot of work to find out that it's no good. The fix. Nada. Now I got to do the computer check. I thought this would be the easiest route, because the computer's like 300 bucks. Thinking, well, this is a sad time for me. I'm putting it all back together, or I did put it all back together, because I cannot figure out the problem. I went through the wiring diagram, checked the pickup coil wiring, made sure that it, went into the correct pin locations. I've checked, I was just getting crazy. I plugged in other desk posts to see if that worked. I checked every wire, both wires that go to the coil, pickup coil with a new pickup coil. They all meet here properly. I checked continuity, I checked resistance on the coil. I took the computer to another place and put it in another machine. The machine fired up right away on this computer. There's no power being sent to the coils at the back down through the white wire, so the computer's not telling it to send that signal there. That would mean to me that there's something wrong with the pickup coil or the stator, but I don't know, unless somebody changed or not the stator. I checked the stator, that has power coming out. The flywheel appeared to be the correct one, because it had the magnets on the outside, where the DIs don't have a magnet on the outside, which I have one up here. You see that's a DI, no magnet. So we know the other one was correct, or I assume it's correct, unless it's, I don't know. It can't be off anything else. So what else did I check? There was a whole list of things. Pickup, check the computer, all the wiring. Checked all the pin locations, power coil, checked all fuses, wiring stator to compressor, compressor to coils, pickup to compressor, or to computer. What else do you check? Well, guys, that's kind of a bummer to end it like this. It's a will it run that won't run. But I've tried everything. I put days into this thing. Maybe it needs fresh eyes, someone that maybe, I don't know, can think of something else that I didn't think of. I don't know. I mean, short of pulling the motor out and changing all the wiring harness and piece by piece until you finally get spark again, I don't know. But this one just does not want to spark. I'm guessing it's something to do in either the flywheel is not quite right. Something's been changed by somebody. Somebody messed with the wiring harness, but I traced everything and everything seemed to be correct. So, and it's weird because you get this odd voltage at the coils of -1, but I checked another machine and it was the same. So that's telling me that the computer and everything is all behaving the same. It's just not sending the power to the coil to fire. So again, sounds like the pickup coil, but I don't know. Anyway, appreciate you watching. I will update you. I might take it to a friend of mine who also does repairs and see if he can come up with something, but I don't know. I'm stumped. Anyway, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.